You may know that in the past I've done different videos on the Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie case. We have heard today the FBI, the different police departments have done their cases, and today we found out that they did do a investigation on the notebook, and Brian Laundrie did in fact admit to killing Gabby. It came down today that the investigation, they released the information today that he wrote in the notebook that he killed his fiancee, Gabby Petito. So the FBI did release the information today that Brian Laundrie admitted in the notebook that he murdered Gabby. And so now we know that he probably did commit suicide, that, you know, it was a single gunshot wound to the head, that he took his own life, and that's why he did it, because he killed Gabby. So, now there was nothing said about if he murdered the other two women that um, it says, and I'm reading this from a investigation. This is from USA Today. It says the investigation did not identify any other individuals other than Brian Laundrie directly involved in the tragic death of Gabby Petito. Um, it says that Landry's remains were found in Florida. We all knew that. Um, it says the case led to 2 weeks of forensics intrigue in the fall. Um, it says before Friday's statement, the contents of Landry's notebook has remained a mystery despite efforts by the media, public, and Landry's parents to gain access to it. The FBI did not provide any other details as to what else the notebook contained. They also revealed that the revolver that was found with Landry's body and that the 23-year-old texted had already he had texted his already dead fiance multiple times in an attempt to evade authorities. When Landry returned from the trip in September, he retained a lawyer almost immediately, thwarting law enforcement from gaining information from him. So he knew the whole point of all of this was to keep law enforcement from getting information. We knew almost immediately. I'd known from the get go that something was off. He came back without Gabby. He wouldn't let anybody talk to his parents wouldn't talk to law enforcement. He wasn't talking to law enforcement. So obviously something was off there. They combed through the swamp, found his body eventually. His parents went and found the body. They said they also found a notebook, which they got the information from. Um, they say law enforcement questioned Landry's parents, but the pair have not been charged with anything related to the case. So I just wanted to let you all know what was said today. Um, I think it's really sad that, we find out today that um, I just wonder if he did, in fact, murder the two women that he visited their campsite. I wonder if that investigation, if he mentioned anything in his notebook about that, or if Brian was being blamed for the death of those women when in fact it wasn't him. Um, that's what I wonder about. If in fact he's being blamed for something that wasn't his fault. Now, I do question it because he'd already murdered Gabby by this point. So, what was going to stop him from murdering anybody else? Um, he'd already murdered his girlfriend, his fiance, and we already knew that he had the ability to murder. We already knew that he had this white hot anger. So, how do we know that he didn't have the ability to murder those two women? So We don't know. We'll have to see if he does get implicated in murder, the murder of those two women as well. Um, but again, Brian Laundrie did write in the notebook that he murdered Gabby. Um, it's really, really sad. So that case will be closed. They will now close the Gabby Petito case. They will find that case. I would say the FBI is going to close that case. I would say the family's not going to be charged with anything, um, because Brian admitted that he murdered Gabby. Um, and he's the one that got the lawyer. He's the one that got the attorney when he came back. So the parents were only listening to what the attorney told them to do. So I would say that the parents are not going to be charged with anything. Um, so I would say the Gabby Petito case is closed, in this right. So we're going to call it closed. The Gabby Petito case will be closed from now. The Brian Potato, the Brian Laundrie Gabby Potato case will now probably be closed. It's a closed case. Um, it's sad. It's sad that this is what the case came to. Um, but you know, it's a ending to what was a bad situation all the way around. So I just wanted to come in and let everybody know, that we do have an ending to the case. That Brian did admit that he murdered her, and I figured that's what happened because, um, he shot himself. Um, so I don't think he would have shot himself had it not been for the fact that, he killed Gabby. So I just wanted to update you guys with that. I hope you guys are having a great day. Um, Remember to smile at somebody. I love you all. Share the love I share with you with someone else. And we'll see you guys next time.